everyone this morning? Awesome. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. My name is Jonathan Zenz. I'm the spiritual director here, and it's such a pleasure to have you here this morning. So grateful for you all to join us. Who's here for the first time? Welcome. Welcome. It's great to have you here. Thank you for joining us. So some things that I want to let you know that are happening. First of all, James Mellon's CPR, James Mellon, my mentor, his CPR program starts tomorrow, and if you're interested in that, it's 30 days of prosperity consciousness. It's $20, so that's pretty prosperous, right? But 30 days with James Mellon leading you through prosperity consciousness, that starts tomorrow. There are postcards in the lobby, and you can find out all about that. Also, this Wednesday, we start again classes, and I am starting off with self-mastery, which is a great class to learn how to get in touch with the true self, the capital S self, and how to master that in your own life. And when I say capital S self, I mean your divine self. So look forward to starting classes. That class, Self-Mastery, is every Wednesday at 7:30. We also have The Untethered Soul, which is coming up. When does that start, Helen?
September 19th.
September 19th, and that's on Thursdays at 7 o'clock. And in a few weeks, we're actually starting a practitioner class. So so we have a number of people who are ready to go on to become licensed practitioners in our center, and they start their studies for that on the 17th of September. So I'm really excited about that. So here we are. Is there anything I'm forgetting?
Birthday.
Oh my gosh, it's birthday Sunday.
Oh my God.
That's right, it's the first Sunday of the month. So who is having a birthday or an anniversary during the month of September? Yes, all right. So we're passing out ballots now. On the ballot, if you are not familiar with this, you write your name, and then you write the name of a registered charity, and we will do a drawing from the basket. And whomever wins the drawing, awesome, there's some back there. Whoever wins the drawing, 5% of whatever we do in the collection today gets donated directly to that registered charity. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. So as that's going around, why don't we do the birthday and anniversary song? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Yeah. Happy birthday to Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary. Awesome. So while we're collecting those, I'm just going to punt here for a moment. So how's it going, Judy? Awesome. Awesome. Is there anything that you wanted to say to anybody?
You're doing a good job of it.
Oh, okay. I'm doing a good job of it. Well, I'm glad I'm doing a good job of it. All right. Is there anybody who needs to turn in a ballot who has not done so? All right. And the winner of the raffle today is Paul Matthews. Congratulations. So 5% of what is collected during the collection today is going to the Red Cross. So thank you for that. Appreciate that. So we are here. We are alive. We are happy. We are joyful. We are living the life of the divine. Do you believe that? Yes, awesome. We're celebrating this concept today, which is what we celebrate. Well, I celebrate it every day. But we celebrate it as a community here on Sundays, and I am so grateful for the way this community is growing and expanding into expression into this world and what it means for this world. I actually got a call this week from somebody, and I'm going to be doing a thing. I don't know much about it yet, but keep an eye on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, go and like the Center for Spiritual Living, and you can always try and send me a friend request, because I'm doing this thing this week called the Conscious Life Jam. And what it is, it's an online audio, radio kind of thing. It's going to be a 3-day event. I'm going to have an hour of airtime to basically talk about whatever I want to talk about, and I'm going to be up there with the likes of Michael Bernard Beckwith. And who else did he say is going to be on there? Well, I mean, come on, Michael Beckwith. First of all, I'm like to be honored. Like that's an honor for me to be put up with Michael Beckwith. And it's going to be an awesome, awesome experience. But like I say, they're kind of keeping me in the dark about it a little bit because they're trying this new social media thing. So keep an eye on Facebook tomorrow because that's when things are going to start to hit and you can find out all about it. So very excited about that happening this week. But we celebrate this concept every single day. I celebrate it in every single moment. See how I'm expanding it even more? Like I was celebrating it every day. Now I'm celebrating it every moment. One of the ways that we celebrate our consciousness with and as the divine is to read together this statement on the cover of your songbook that was written by Dr. Ernest Holmes, who is the founder of this philosophy. So let's read this together. I am happy and complete today and forever. Within me is that which is perfect and complete. It is the spirit of all life, truth, and action. I am happy in the certain knowledge of this inner light. I radiate joy and life, for life is within me now. I am happy, listen to this, I am happy in the certain knowledge of this inner light. There's nothing, he leaves nothing to chance, Ernest Holmes. If you are clear that you live a happy, prosperous life, and that is what is happening in your mind, then that is what happens in your experience. So to help us take, sorry, you can have a sip of water. Yeah, I'm great with the timing, hey? To help us down the road of inspiration a little bit further, I'm going to invite to the lectern, which I will put here for you, our practitioner of the day, Helen Below.
Hello. Good morning. So I was given a book called Letting Go, The Power of Surrender by David R. Hawkins, who also wrote Power versus Force. And it is an amazing book. And actually, Derek gave it to me before I was leaving for Asilomar, and I said, oh, that's very nice. And I tucked it in my suitcase and thought, yeah, maybe I'll read that. But while I was away, I didn't read it, except for one time when I was sitting in the Bob Hope Airport, and our flight was delayed to Asilomar. And so I opened it up, and I read this passage, and I went, oh, my God, I have to read this book. This is amazing. So when I got home, I opened it up, and I started reading it, and I have to read the introduction to you, because it is so brilliant. And I found also very, very funny. And I've condensed it a little, because otherwise I'd be up here more than my 5 minutes is allowed. So he starts off by talking about the mind chatter and how we think that we are the only ones experiencing doubts and fears and questions about our existence, and we end up feeling separate, different, and often alone. And that we first go looking for the answers. We go to look for the answers from experts. So we go to doctors and therapists, and they have this predetermined belief system that seems to work for a while. And we end up feeling a little bit dehumanized and go back to our original state. And then we say to ourselves, there must be others that have our answers. So we take up religion, get philosophy, tap ourselves with EFT, get our chakras balanced, have reflexology, acupuncture, iridology, healed with lights and crystals. We meditate, chant, drink green tea, breathe in fire, get centered, learn NLP, visualize, get a psychic reading, have colonics, get into nutrition and aerobics, hang upside down, wear psychic jewelry, see a homeopath, discover your Enneagram type. I'm an 8. Just in case you needed to know that. It'll tell you a lot about me. We take tranquilizers, hormone shots, have your minerals balanced, pray, implore, beseech, become a vegetarian, eat only cabbage, do a sweat lodge, try Chinese herbs, and feng shui. You go to India, find a guru, take off your clothes, swim in the Ganges, stare at the sun, shave your head, write affirmations, prepare for the worst. Cast the I Ching, take more courses and workshops, read a lot of books, do yoga, renounce sex and going to the movies. No, never. Get grounded, try chakra breathing, get your aura cleansed, and still wonder, where is my blind spot? Why can't I find the answer to my inner freedom? So I thought that was just absolutely hilarious. And it does go on for a bit. And I thought it was also really interesting. I've seen a couple of movies. and there's another one coming out. There's the movie 42. There's the movie The Butler. And there's also the movie coming out about Nelson Mandela's life, The Long Road to Freedom. And whether you like the movies or not, I like movies. I like how they touch my heart. I don't think there's any mistake that they're being released in the order that they are by the universe at this time, since it's also the 50th anniversary of Nelson Mandela's speech on freedom, which is pretty cool. And I thought it was also really interesting that these are people that are seeking freedom. And it's not just the black people in the movies, it's white people as well. It's all of us. And that we're all looking for this freedom. And I actually went to Robben Island in South Africa to see Nelson Mandela's prison. And it was one of the most humbling experiences in my life. I felt a little bit of shame for myself, my ancestors, being a part of a collective consciousness that would contribute to that kind of oppression. It was fascinating to hear the stories because it was stories from, it was the inmates giving us, former inmates giving us the tour. And there was such a heavy feeling there of sadness and yet at the same time, because of the legacy that Mandela has given to South Africa on freedom, that there was also this place where he taught people how to read, where he inspired them to think beyond their location, which, if you don't know, Robben Island, you can literally see from the wharf at Cape Town. But what they did to the prisoners is they took them out in boats at night and they drove them around and around and around and around and around for hours at a time before taking them to the island. So they didn't know where they were because they were facing out to sea. They didn't know they could have jumped off the island and swam back. Yeah. And so I think, that there's so many amazing stories out there about freedom and that we're all looking for that freedom. What Mandela says, and this is actually on my bathroom wall, for to be free is not to merely cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. And that's when we can find the freedom. And when I was watching Global Truth Center, so I'm going to out you a little bit, Jonathan.
I've been out for years.
Well, I know, that's actually part of my story. There was a practitioner, Terry Taylor, who spoke last Sunday. And he's been in Signs of Mind for 39 years, and 5 years ago, he decided to join James Mellon's church. And then he went to James and he said, I have this huge problem, James. I love you. I think you're amazing, brilliant. But he told James that his assistant, who reads the announcements every Sunday, was so gay, and he couldn't deal with it. Now, first of all, I'm thinking, doesn't he know James is so gay? Never mind, he was talking about Jonathan. Because that was the assistant. I'm like, so I was cracking up laughing. I actually texted Jonathan. I'm laughing so much. But then he said that when Jonathan spoke at the Global Truth Center in July, he said something that transformed his life. Jonathan said, it's time to start living as God, living your life as God. So now Terry says he asks himself, is this how God would handle this? Is this the thing that would make me act like God and share and be an example to others? And I am quoting him. So if we're to go in and within and ask ourselves, how would God handle this? And to start to move from that place to go within, we'd be living from that place of inner freedom. And the passage that I read in Letting Go is, every great teacher from the beginning of time has said to look within and to find the truth, for the truth of what we really are will set us free. If we were to be found within ourselves, where there's something to feel guilty about, something that is rotten, evil, or negative, then all the world's great teachers would not have advised us to look there. On the contrary, they would tell us to avoid going within at all costs. We will discover that all of the things the world calls evil, they are right on the top as the superficial thin layer. Beneath these errors is mistakenness. We are not rotten, only ignorant. Therefore, let us awaken to the truth of who we are. And so, my affirmation for today is, I am living life as God, in and out and through me as me. So I invite you to repeat that after me. I am living my life as God, in and out and through me as me. Namaste.
All right, so now I need to tell you the rest of that story. So yeah, I remember James coming up to me and telling me, so this new member of our community has come up and he says that he thinks you're too gay. And I thought, really, me? But here's what happened is, James is sitting there, and James told me this. He says he was sitting there, and Terry was telling him this in his office. And James turned to Terry and said, now, Terry, you do know that I'm gay, right? And Terry was floored.
I don't get that.
But it's funny because this is how we can, now this is touching on a misunderstanding and how we can buy into things we think we know. Because here's what Terry said, but you have kids.
Oh.
Which was really interesting because yes, James does have kids. He and his husband have kids. But it was so far from Terry's consciousness. And I will tell you now, Terry has transformed himself into a new expression of the divine through him. And it's been really great. He is one of my most avid supporters in my ministry. There are things that there are ways he supports. Yes, I'm going to say this. He actually, for a time, supported me financially to make sure that I got through and became a minister. So know this, if it weren't for Terry Taylor, I wouldn't be here. Yeah. So yes, he is dear. He's very dear to my heart, and he is a deep, deep expression of God. And thank you so much for what you have offered today. We're going to try a new song today. Do I tell you it's on page 30 if you want to look at it? But you don't need to look at it because you won't know the song, so you can just listen to it too. I am going to look at the lyrics though, because I'm still, as many times as I've heard it, I haven't quite mastered the lyrics yet. And all of a sudden, Helen's affirmation is going to sound very, very familiar. Where I am, God is. Where I stand, God is standing strong. Where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through me as me. Where I sing, God is. Where I dance, joy lifts my feet. Where I live, beauty's flowing free, in and out and through me, as me. where I doubt. God is the faith in me where I cry. God is the comfort there where I seek. God is the answer here and now, forever and ever and ever. Where I speak, truth is. Where I work, love is my career. Where I play, God is playing boldly in and out and through me as me.
And so as I speak these words for all of us here today, I know that God is everywhere. God is the expression of all life. God is the beauty, the grace, the wonder, the joy, the peace, the love, and the full expression of our hearts and souls that holds the treasures and gifts that each one of us have to share with this world. And so, breathing in and knowing and affirming right here, right now, that where I am, God is. Where I always am, God is. And I go within, and I listen to that still, inner, wise voice of wisdom. And I express God in all that I do, all that I think, and I express God with the world. For the more that we hold together as a collective in this one perfect mind of right thinking, right action, that is truth and beauty and oneness, we create a world that is beautiful for everyone, that works for everyone, that supports everyone in sharing their own gifts with the world. And it all comes back to my mind and my heart, working together as one right here, right now, and acknowledging the truth that wherever I am, God is. And for this, knowing and feeling the presence of this oneness, this divine energy throughout me, I do give thanks. And I now release these words on behalf of all of us here to that perfect law of mind where it is all done. It is perfect, whole, complete, and ripe and ready to be expressed. I let go and I let God. And together we affirm, and so it is.
Where I am, where I stand, where I play, where I work and breathe and move and be, where I sing, where I dance, my dance, my dance, wherever I go, where I pray and take and give and live. God is. Thank you, Helen. Just breathe. Taking this energy, let's really be clear as we read the Declaration of Principles in the back of our songbooks what it is we're reading. Be clear on what it is you're stating you stand for in this life. Let's read this together. I believe in one living spirit, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. I believe this one manifests itself in and through all creation. I believe in the individualization of the Spirit, and that all people are individualizations of the one Spirit. I believe that heaven is within, and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. I believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. I believe in the eternality, immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. That was awesome. Thank you, Helen. So clearly today is a James Mellon day. Is this yours? And the reason I say that is because we've talked incessantly about him now, and the song we're about to sing was actually written by him. And okay, so I'm going to move this. This is one of those things that you don't have to sit and look at my bottle or my glass of water, Dean. And I'm going to talk more about the song after we sing it, but let's just go for it. Once there was a man who longed to sail the sea, though no one ever had before. His only thought was, why not me? And so he built a boat, the first one of its kind, exactly how he saw it in his mind. Once there was a man who dreamed that he could fly. He never questioned how he would. He never stopped to wonder why. He made a pair of wings and jumped into the blue. He knew he had to make his dreams come true. See it, dream it, until you know. Take it, make it, until it's so. And so it is. Once there was a man like you and me. He wanted more than what he saw. He heard a voice that set him free. It said the world is good. It said that you should know you're part of everything that makes it grow. Doesn't matter what you're taught or what you've learned. You can fly, you can soar. It doesn't matter that it's never been done before. It just takes one to open the door. Once there was a man, might as well be you. Build your boat and make your wings. Dream the dreams you want to come true. Let your soul remember who you are. nothing too high and nothing too far. If you can see it, dream it until you know. Take it, make it until it's so. If you can see it, dream it until you know. Take it, make it until it's so. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you. I have wanted to sing that song here for a very long time. And, you know, it's just hasn't really come to be until today. Today was the day to do it. And so it is. So clearly that is a good Science of Mind tune, right? It's very clear. You set your mind to it, you know it's your mind, you have a vision, you can make anything happen in your life. Is it hot in here? Yes. Can we turn on the air? Because if it's hot for you, I guarantee you it's hot for me. It's just me. Thank you, Tony.
May I tell my joke quickly? On a hot day such as this, a person goes into a store and sees two fans. One says $10, one says 10 cents. He says, what's the difference? He says, well, the $10 fan you use like so, but the 10-cent fan you use like so.
That was funny. And of course, I don't know that anybody online saw that, but it's a visual. You got it? Okay, awesome. All right, so it is. Once there was a man. Well, okay, so first of all, I'm going to tell you the context of the story because it is a man singing to a boy. That's why it's always once there was a man, because James is not trying to be gender biased in any way. This is from a show that James wrote. It's based on a young adult novel called Lizard. And the musical is now called A Boy Called Lizard because when he named the musical Lizard, nobody knew what that was. It was just Lizard. What does that mean? But here's the basic, well, okay. Before I get ahead of myself. James wrote this, he was so moved by this novel that he wrote this, and it is a parable. Remember what a parable is? I talked about it last week. It is a parable for a deeper lived life as spirit. And it's a boy's journey, it's his coming of age story. And he's basically, the reason that he is called Lizard in the story is because he has a slightly obscurely deformed face, where his eyes are too far apart. And so this is 1970s in the Deep South, and he is sent to a home, and you'll have to pardon the expression because it's what was used at that time, but he's sent to a home for retarded boys. Even though he is brilliant. But just from the way he looks, he is sent away by his mother, his single mother. And anyway, he ends up getting involved with his con man, and he goes on this big, wild journey, and it's a beautiful, beautiful story, a beautiful musical. And this is, in Act 2, he comes across this director of a museum who basically the director of this museum sings this song, and it sort of is the turning point of the story where all of a sudden, Lizard, because everybody calls him Lizard in the story, Lizard comes to a deeper realization of who he is and the power that he has to create just because of who he is. And that it doesn't matter what he looks like. He is a perfect individualized expression of the divine. Now, James in the show wrote this show. He doesn't say you're a perfect individualized expression of the divine because that's a little Science of Mind jargony, right? And to have an open audience, to come to a deeper understanding that you have power just because of who you are. You don't have to call it God. That's the important thing. So I did this. I was in the original company of this show, And I will tell you, so there's one of those thrilling things that happens sometimes when a show gets published, and Tanis, you may be able to relate. Well, anybody who's an actor, but Tanis, I don't know why, I'm just going to you, because I don't know if you can relate to this. I'm sure you can. So when a show gets published, they always put the names of the original cast members at the front of the book. And it's the first time that I had my name listed in the front of a book as an original cast member of a show. It's just exciting for me. Have you had that experience? Yes. Isn't that awesome to know you could go to a bookstore, and they probably won't have it in stock, but you could order it. If you went to a Samuel French bookstore, of which there are none here, but they would have it in stock there. Anyway, one of the things that I love about this, and it's really brought me back to my roots in theater this week, because I've been feeling very bittersweet lately about, and I think that you all knew that there was going to come a day when this would happen, because I was asked about it when I first got here. But I am terribly, terribly missing being an actor right now. Part of that is having come from the Stratford Festival. I went to Stratford with my mom, 2 weeks ago now, and, well, a week and a half ago, and we saw Othello and The Merchant of Venice, which are just absolutely exquisite productions. And I sat there, and, I have seen shows here and there, but it's really made me go, oh, I really, really, really miss it now. And so I'm going to find a way to deal with that. I don't know what that's going to be yet. One of the things is the performance workshop I did last spring, I am going to do the performance workshop again. I'm not announcing a date for that yet, but it will be happening this fall at some point. And I'm going to be more involved in doing the work that I was leading people through, because that'll help me. But one of the things I love about theater is a metaphor for the creative process. And I think it's a brilliant metaphor for the creative process. It's exactly what is said in this particular song, that if you can dream it, you can create it. Imagine, now think about shows you may have seen where you sit in the audience and you think, oh my gosh, how did they do that? Well, I can tell you how they did it. First of all, it was an idea in mind. And then the mechanics of it came together to create it on stage. There is no better metaphor in my book for the creative process coming into fruition. Everything that you can conceive of is possible and probable. That's the truth. Ernest Holmes writes, greater vision seldom transpires in one flash of consciousness. Really hear this, because this is also part of the metaphor of theater. It takes a long time to go from page to stage. Greater vision seldom transpires in one flash of consciousness, although it may do so. More often than not, the ascent from our valley of negation to the mountaintop of realization is slow. So one of the things that I'm going to talk about today is this, what he calls the valley of negation. A lot of us tend to live in that valley a little bit. I know that I've done it in my life. And coming up that mountaintop to the mountaintop of realization, coming to the apex of that mountaintop has taken me time. So if you are on this journey, I'm going to tell you the 4 words that I say in Mental Muscle all the time. I had to count it. Did you see that? I'm like, no. 5 words that I say in Mental Muscle all the time. Let yourself off the hook. We beat ourselves up. And you know what happens if we're trying to reach that apex? Just like you were saying, we do all of those things, right? We're trying to reach the apex. We're trying to get to the top of the mountaintop of realization, to come to a deeper understanding of God as us, through us, by means of us, in everything that we do. Well, everything that you experience that is a negative experience, that you perceive as a negative experience, is still God. First of all, let's have that understanding. There is nothing that is not God. So if you're having a negative experience, it is God having a bad day. But you can overcome the bad day by changing your mind. That's the whole philosophy we teach, by changing your mind. That is when you start to ascend to the mountaintop. And it may take time. It may take time. But be honest about where you are on the journey. You must be honest about where you are on the journey. Do we forget? I'm really dry today. Do we forget sometimes that everything is good? Now again, I'm going back to even if we perceive something as negative, turning your mind around it will help you understand that it actually is good. It is born from goodness. It is born from the one creative power, the constructive power. And as you experience it, your shift in consciousness about what it is you are experiencing shifts it so that you can perceive it as good. Everything is good. Now, some of you are maybe sitting here thinking, but what about this? I don't know, because this didn't feel so good. I'll tell you right now, yes, I'm going down that road. Right now, it does not feel so good to me, it does not feel so good to me that the United States is about to go start bombing another country. Doesn't feel good to me. Now, I'm not going to, worry about my political opinions. It's not for this place, but I'm trusting that Congress will do the right thing, because thank God President Obama is saying, Congress, you give me the go. And if Congress, here's the thing I also have to stand firm in. Whatever decision is made is the decision that I have to trust is for the forward momentum of the collective as a whole. Now, I see other ways of making change happen in the world, and I do pray that it goes down a specific line of activity and not down the line of activity that I see happening. I would love to shift it. And you know what? We all have the capacity in our own minds to pray on this. And as a collective, we affect the entire world. As an individual, we affect the entire world. So if it is something that you are concerned about, pray on it. Because that's how we change our mind. That's all prayer is. That's all we teach within this philosophy. Prayer is not supplication to God outside of the self. Prayer is a change of mind. And as we constructively use our mind to change our relationship to the circumstances we are experiencing, we shift the entire world. So everything is God. Everything. There are no exceptions. None. Potentially everything that is to be exists now. Peace exists now. World peace. A world free of war. A world free of famine. A world free. Just listen to that. Just a world that is free. Potentially everything that is to be exists now. Why has it not occurred? Our spiritual vision has not yet become completely in tune with the infinite. That's why. This is a quote of Ernest Holmes. I'm going to read it now as the quote. Potentially, everything that is to be exists now, but our spiritual vision has not yet become completely in tune with the infinite. Is there more work that we can each of us do, every single one of us, and I'm not excluding myself from this because I know there's work that I can do. Is there work that each and every one of us can do to become more in tune and more aligned with and as the infinite? Yes, absolutely there is. And it may be done through the things like Helen was talking about. Those are tools, right? The tool that works best for me is to keep reminding myself of who and what I am at all times, no matter what. There are no excuses. Exceptions, that's the word I meant to say. There are no exceptions. Everything that I experience is God having God's life, living God's life, experiencing God's life by means of me. Everything you experience is God's life being lived through you as you. We're like radio antennas because we are actually the source of creation for our own lives. Now, the source is infinite through us, but we are the point at which creation is happening. And we're like radio antennas, and this is what I mean by that. You are a receptor of God and expressing as God. That's what a radio antenna does. It receives the signal, and it interprets the signal so that it can be, on a radio, music or talk radio or whatever you listen to. Of course, we don't listen to radio that much anymore. Everything's happening online now. But imagine still, it's still the same concept. Everything is interpreted in some way. The interpretation is what is happening in our mind. The interpretation is what is happening in our mind. If we get in tune, then everything comes out perfectly. Beautiful melodies coming out. However, if we're not in tune, what do we get? We get static. We get static. Now, is static not God? No, it's still God. It's still a signal. It is still a signal, right? It's just that it's not been tuned. It has not been created into a form where it is melodious to our ears. So as we tune in, we are creating our exquisite lives. So that's the point, is that it is up to each and every one of us to tune in whatever way we can to have a deeper understanding of who and what we are. This is what happens. This is what happens when you know. And that's why today's talk is called Until You Know. It's the one thing that I pulled. Now, it's funny. Last week's talk was called Take It and Make It. And this week is Until You Know. I pulled lyrics from this song for last week's talk title. And so this song has been in mind. Anyway, so Until You Know means that there is absolutely nothing that will transpire until you make a decision about it. You will be lost in limbo. You will be simply a receiver of static. When you make the decision about it, you tune it in. There is nothing until you know. It is important to me actually, how do I put this? It is less important to me to have things just be so. And the way that we get away from things just being so is to know. I think too many of us are living, what does Thoreau say? Lives of quiet desperation, when things are just so. We wish things were different, but we don't know that we actually have the capacity to make things different. It is up to each and every one of us to know, to come to that deeper realization of God as us, through us. When we look at things how they should be, and that's another thing. We look at things how they should show up. And I'm going to invite you to step away from the how, to step away from seeing things how they should be, and trust that things are as they should be. And if you want to shift it, to know that you can. But you can never shift it if you're only looking at that stuff out there and thinking that needs to change, because that does not need to change. This needs to change. And when this changes, that changes. When we look at the how, it's what we call, when we think we know how, it's what we call within this philosophy outlining the outcome. We're outlining. We're saying this is I accept my good, but it must show up this way. You know what? One of the biggest things I realized today that we outline is how we get money. How money comes to us. How many of you truly, now it's going to be a rhetorical question. I won't ask for hands. How many of you, just check in with yourself, how many of you truly embody the belief that money comes to you from an infinite source? Check in with yourself right now, because some of you may be doubting and saying, but, I have to work hard at my job. If I stand up here and say, your money does not come from your job, even though that may be a conduit for a portion of your infinite abundance, that is not the source of your supply. But so many of us outline the job. We have to get the better job to make more money. But if you understand that who you are is abundance, then none of that matters, because you're going to be living an abundant life no matter what. God does not work only through your job. God is infinite source. I guarantee you, open yourself up to that understanding, more money is going to come through you. for you to use. I have to be very clear. Remember the story I told about how I used to pray? Oh, I trust and know that money is flowing through me easily and effortlessly and all the time. And it was great. Then I got a job where I was a bookkeeper. It was a perfect, brilliant demonstration. Because money was flowing through me all the time. None of it was mine to use, but it was flowing, let me tell you. So check in with yourself. What is the thing that you have always dreamed of doing or of being? And what is the thing that is holding you back from that? Today is a call, I should say. It's a call to step up our consciousness to a place of realization, to a deeper embodiment of this idea that God is all there is. It is who and what each and every one of us express as, and it can always, always, always be more fully embodied and understood. Because God is infinite, we will never fully understand God in our limited use of the universal mind. So there's always more to know. There's always a place to go. There's no destination. There's only the journey. But your journey can become more and more brilliant with every step you take, coming to a deeper realization of who and what you are. Realization that God is. God is. There's nothing really more that needs to be said. God is. Wherever you are, God is. Whatever you do, God is. Whoever you are, God is. The people you see around you, they're God. When you look in the mirror, you are God. Have that be the reminder, your constant reminder, no matter what, God is. There's the lyric in the bridge of the song. Doesn't matter what you're taught or what you've learned, you can fly, you can soar. It doesn't matter that it's never been done before, it just takes one to open the door. It doesn't matter. What you perceive and believe, you can achieve. Who said that? Napoleon Hill, I think. Yeah. What you can perceive and believe, you can achieve. There is nothing stopping you except your own mind. And I'm afraid too many of us allow our own minds to get in the way. So today is also a special day because, we're going to honor somebody in our community a little bit later. Mahala, who's Helen's daughter, has been working with the dynamic kids for how long? Years. Years. And today is her last Sunday with us because she is going to university. And one of the things I really appreciate, and one of the reasons that I am so interested in growing our youth program here, is because if I had known this back then, how different would my life be? Think about that. If you knew this, and if you really understood this and embodied this, how different might your life be? And some of you may have come up through New Thought. So I trust your life is brilliant. But that's one of the reasons why it is so important to me to have a youth program, because it is not about what can we create, it's about living a life that is well lived. And that's what I want to teach kids. And I know that Mahala is doing that. And she's done it brilliantly, and so she is going to be missed. it doesn't matter what you're taught. Doesn't matter what you're taught or what you've learned. Some of you may have come to this philosophy with having learned something else about the nature of God. Doesn't matter. What do you know now? What do you know now? And how can you embody it a little bit more deeply right now? There is only one thing going on. That one thing is God. God is happening as you, through you, expressing more deeply every single moment, in every single way. That's what the nature of God is. Always creating, always unfolding, infinitely. The potential that you have that you probably haven't even tapped into. And I can say that, and I will say this because I know that I have not tapped into my own potential. Because the potential is infinite in each and every one of us. So how are you going to use that infinite nature today? That one, it just takes one to open the door. That one is you. It is God through you. So today, I say, open the door. And that's it. Namaste. I am going to miss Mahala. She'll come back and visit. She's going to be here Thanksgiving weekend, right? Maybe, maybe not. Laurier. And what is she going to study, Helen? Youth and Child Studies. Yep. So excited. All right, so let's take what it is we have to offer the center today, your gift, your tithe, your investment in the center. Lately I've been thinking more and more, I like to think about this as my investment in the center, my investment in an idea that I am showing as money. You know, it's a tangible thing, money. We can feel it, right? But money is energy, and money helps support the energy of creation within this center. So whatever you give today, please give it freely from the heart, not out of obligation. And I trust and know that as you give, so you receive, because that's the reciprocal nature of the universe. So holding what you have to offer today, let's read together the divine givingness statement on the back of our songbooks. Here we go. I know that God is the source of all supply, and that money is God in action. I know that my good is here now. I claim an abundance of money to spare and share. I know that true prosperity includes perfect health, perfect wealth, and perfect happiness. I bless all that I have now, and I bless the increase. I give thanks for this good. I know that my gift today goes forward to heal and bless. I joyously contribute to the vision of this spiritual center and know that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so just as a reminder, 5% of what we collect today is going to the Red Cross. And we're going to sing God is My Source as the baskets go around. So please stand up and stretch and dance around if you like. It's on page 5 of your songbook. 1, 2, 3.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Joy is my source, joy is my power, joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything that I need. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. Love is my sword.
Love is my sword.
Love is my power.
My power.
Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks
So I give thanks
for all my blessings.
all my blessings.
Love gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything that I need.
I will invite Helen Valo to do a blessing over our offering.
Yay! Ah. In this moment of gratitude for receiving what we've received today, I speak these words on behalf of all of us here, knowing that God is our source. God is this divine energy in action. It is currency. It is abundance. It is light. It is the source of all of our supply that then supports each one of us and this center in living in abundance. And so, with a grateful heart, I say thank you, knowing that this is received on behalf of the board and used to serve, to grow this center, to educate, and to help this community prosper out into the community of Toronto and out into the world. I release my words to the law, knowing all is well, all is done, and together we say, and so it is.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Helen. All right, so we have a special thing happening now. Flipping the invocation, and I am going to do the song again, just so you're aware of what's happening. So just prepping, and so it is. So I'm going to invite our young people into the room. And I want to invite, so Mahala, you don't know that I talked about you, just a little bit. And I know that you're not expecting this, but can you come up here for a moment? So as a community, we wanted to offer our gratitude to you for what you have done with our kids and for our kids. And I'm going to miss you, but I know that you're off to do brilliant, brilliant things. And we have some things for you. So Margaret Ann is going to come up here and let's get a microphone for you so that the people on the internet can hear you as well.
First of all, can we ask Zach to come up?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi,
Here's
Zach.
He has something for
All right.
Mahala.
So let's turn. Hold on, because people will want to see you. I'm going to move this back, okay? And we're going to have you with a microphone. So I'm going to hold this microphone so people can hear you too. All right? So did you have something you wanted to say? Okay. Okay, you set that down.
To Mahala. We are friends because we play and do fun things on Sundays. You help and teach me things. You are cool.
And so Zach has something that he's giving to Mahala, and we have some things too for you. Thank you so much, Zach. You want to stay up here? Do you like being up front? Yeah? You're not sure? You're not so sure, huh? And we have also, so I'm going to give this back to, I don't need a mic. What am I doing? I've got a mic.
Okay. Kate and Ryan, you want to come up and give your...
Riley.
Riley, sorry, Riley. Riley and Kate, come up and say hello to. And what does it say?
World's greatest person.
The
And
world's
so
greatest
this
person.
Isn't that wonderful? And we also have a card that's signed by pretty well everyone. And if you haven't signed it, you can snatch it off Mihala and sign it for it. And a little gift from the class as a whole for you. And thank you so much for everything that you do. Yes. I just would like to say that you've been a blessing and a steadying influence. You've been downstairs this whole time, and we so appreciate you. And you're such a blessing. Thank you so much for everything that you've given this center and our children. Thank you.
Thank you.
And all the best to you. All the best, and have fun.
Yes,
You're
definitely
a
have
fun person.
So you didn't get to hear the song, but I think the song is a song that you might enjoy and like. And so I'm going to sing the song that we sang earlier again. So have a seat and...
God is, or and so it is.
And so it is. We're doing And So It Is now. Sorry, I was not very clear in terms of what I was expecting, so, you know. Wait, where's... Oh, there it is. Ah. I love repeating songs. Once there was a man who longed to sail the sea, though no one ever had before. His only thought was, why not me? And so he built a boat, the first one of its kind, exactly how he saw it in his mind. Once there was a man who dreamed that he could fly. He never questioned how he would. He never stopped to wonder why. He made a pair of wings and jumped into the blue. He knew he had to make his dream come true. See it, dream it, until you know. Take it, make it, until it's so. And so it is. Once there was a man like you and me. He wanted more than what he saw. He heard a voice that set him free. It said the world is good. It said that you should know you're part of everything that makes it grow. Doesn't matter what you're taught or what you've learned, you can fly, you can soar. It doesn't matter that it's never been done before. It just takes one to open the door. Once there was a man, might as well be you. Build your boat and make your wings. Dream the dreams you want to come true. Just remember who you are. There is nothing so high and nothing so far. If you can see it, dream it until you know. Take it, make it until it's so. If you can see it, dream it until you know. Take it, make it until it's so. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. So I do want to say thank you to everyone who made today's service possible. First and foremost, thank you, Mahala, for being with these kids and being so brilliant in what you do. And thank you to Heather, who was down there today with Mahala. Yes, indeed. I want to thank for setting up today, Christina and Lynette. Yes, hello. Hi. Oh, okay. You know what? If you're going to do it, though, because we got it online, you have to come up and use the microphone. All right. What's your name? Hi, Angie.
Years, I just pop in and come out, but I'm trying to make a better commitment to come here more often.
Awesome.
So, I've been on this journey myself with energies and the thoughts and what they really mean. And we were at the zoo the other week, and we couldn't find the car, and we're out of range for the panic button. And my fiance at the time said, "Take the key. Sorry if I'm not speaking. Take the key and put it near your head, and it will boost the range, and you'll find the car." And I thought he was ridiculous. What are you saying? And he did it, and I just thought he was playing games with me. So, of course, I'm a skeptic, and I decided, well, give me the keys, and I want to see this for myself. And I tried, and it wasn't working. And then I put it near my head, and it worked. I was like, what? So that's the energy that your brain gives off. I'm not sure what to make of it, but at least this is my learning. And, you know, that we have this energy, and we put out our thoughts. And to me, that is what made everything makes sense.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Angie. Try it and you'll see. Well, putting out our thoughts
all
and
of our
putting out that
people walking
energy.
around with
I know, can you imagine? We're all...
Not tinfoil hats. We have keys.
But I do want to say thank you to Christina and Lynette for setting up today. I want to thank Pat and Linda, who are our greeters today. Margaret Ann in the bookstore. I want to thank Helen for your beautiful story and your beautiful treatment and the great work you do. Thank you. Our board members today are Linda and Judy. They're downstairs now, but thank you, Linda and Judy. I'm sure you feel the love. I want to thank Carrie in the sound booth and Tony, who is ensuring we get out to the internet. Thank you so very much. I want to thank the band, and I want to thank Fran for sitting in today on keyboards, especially. All right. If you turn to page, it's interesting. If you turn to page 1 in your songbook, we are doing this, yes.
Oh,
See, I changed things on them like right at the last minute.
God is holding me.
God is holding me. Yes,
We're doing
we are doing God is holding me.
He's changing things up every 5 seconds.
Every 5 seconds. Again, it being a James Mellon day, I've told the story before about how this is, for me, will always be a song that makes me think of James Mellon, because when he was experiencing his cancer treatment, gosh, you know that's 5 years ago now. 5 years ago? No, 3 years ago. Sorry, it was 2010. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. When he would have to go in for his radiation treatments, he would have panic attacks. And this is the song that they started to play for him in the room so that he could have a deeper understanding. And he stopped having panic attacks because of this song. I'm held in love, I'm held in peace. God is holding me with every breath, with every step. God is holding me. I'm held in love, I'm held in peace. God is holding me with every breath, with every step. God is holding me. 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 God is holding you because God is you. And you are supported by this one infinite energy. Each and every one of us is supported by this one infinite energy, a perfect, loving, compassionate, benevolent energy that is always unfolding in our lives for good. I am so grateful to have this understanding, and I'm so grateful for this community, and I am so grateful for the understanding that God is. God is. That's it. There's nothing more that needs to be known, only more that needs to be embodied. And so I embody this principle a little bit more deeply right in this moment, knowing that I'm fully supported, as are each and every one of us, by God, that infinite divine presence that is expressing life as us. This is the truth. I allow it to be the truth, and I release this word knowing it is a complete and done idea in the mind of God, and it unfolds brilliantly, easily, and effortlessly as together we say, and so it is. God is holding me. 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 Namaste, everyone. And the final song of the day to get you up out of your seats is Don't Stop, which is on page, I've lost my sheet here, page 18. And are you singing lead vocal on this, Tanis?
Aaron is going to do.
Aaron's going to
vocals
sing lead vocal on
today.
this. Okay.
Do you hear his guitar at all?
But not through the system.
No. Yeah.
If you wake up and don't want to smile, if it takes just a little while, open your eyes, look at the day. You'll see things in a different way. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop, it'll soon be here. It'll be here, better than before. Yesterday's gone, yesterday's gone. Why not think about the times to come, and not about the things that you've done? If your life was bad to you, just think what tomorrow will do. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop, it'll soon be here. It'll be here, better than before. Yesterday's gone, yesterday's gone. Stephen Belair. All I want is to see you smile. If it takes just a little while, I know you don't believe that it's true. I never meant any harm to you. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop, it'll soon be here. It'll be here, better than before. Yesterday's gone, yesterday's gone. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop, it'll soon be here. It'll be here, better than before. Yesterday's gone, yesterday's gone. Ooh, don't you look back. you look